Greetings, this is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhines, and once again I'm in the little small town of Meigs, Georgia. I got a call from a young lady in Cordele yesterday afternoon about what is going on and taking place in this little small town of Meigs. The Thomasville Times-Enterprises reports that Meigs saga continues. Council member arrested, mayor locked out of office again. This was in the Thomasville Friday, January 25th newspaper, and the other article was in January 22nd, 2015 newspaper, and the headlines here reads, charges against Meigs mayor not prosecuted. And of course they got a picture of Linda Harris and a young lady named Cheney, and I think this is possibly accusations against the current mayor, Linda Harris. As you know, I have covered various city council meetings here in the state of Georgia, including Quitman, Georgia, Meigs, Georgia, Lumpkin, Georgia, Dawson, Georgia, Gordon, Georgia, Warrington, Georgia, Davis, and 11 in all, 11 little small towns in all. These are newly elected black mayors. This is not all mayors, but it is indeed the newly elected mayors. I have been to city council meetings here, and I'm not going to get into the beef of why I came, because it's all posted on Meigs' playlist on Boston G.B.R. YouTube channel. But I'm back in town again today because of the call that I got from, and the email I received, by the way, from a young lady who follows my blogs and follows my YouTube channel on the internet. She said to me, George, get back over to Meigs and help that black African-American newly elected black mayor out, because the civil rights organizations, the women's rights organizations, GMA, the Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp, the governor of the state of Georgia, Attorney General Sam Olens, nobody seemed to be interested in the pain that is being impacted and brought up in these little small towns, and the citizens have absolutely nobody to help them. As you know, it has been well over a year, and still, you can read from the paper. I just talked to the mayor. She told me a lot of untruths are published in this newspaper, and she said that it's done deliberately for reasons unknown. And so I'm going to say again to the people here in the state of Georgia, especially the black men, how can we sit by and watch this take place and we say nothing? I didn't come over here to scrutinize anything, but I did come over here to give you a prelude into the 2-hour video that will follow this clip. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press. We report what others ignore. And by the way, let me say this. I was told that somebody said that Get To, which is the name of this press, Get To Free Press, is a bad name to be associated with any elected official. Let me do this because it just came to my attention. I call this movement the Get To Free Press when I found out in Valdosta, Georgia, and in other South Georgia towns, they refuse to report the news that impacts the black American communities. And so I started this, and now there are others who have picked up their little small cameras, and they are tearing Facebook, they are tearing Twitter, and the blogs on blogger.com. They are blasting the truth, what the news media refuses to report. And so I want you to know that I say get to. I don't say get to, like I am some dungeon down in the deep holes and bury my head because I don't report the truth. Jesus said, according to the scripture, St. John 8:32, and ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set and make you free. And so what I say is this: get the information to me, and I will get it back to you, because you have a right to know. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press. George Boss Rhymes in the street of Meigs, Georgia. Until next time, we're going to continue to do what we do, because after all, we all must do what we have to do if this republic is to stand and be strong. We cannot do the ostrich head duck. And the ostrich head duck is when we bury our head in the sand and pretend that everything is fine while we are living in hell. And we just don't need that any longer. And so as the KJ case proved to be what it is, we're going to continue to talk about the ignored, newly elected black mayors in the state of Georgia that have been ignored for years, and it's time for a change. The question is, where are our civil rights organizations, and why can't we stand up for the mothers and fathers in our communities, who, and as well as Mayor Charles Gibson in Lumpkin, Georgia, Chris Wright in Dawson, Georgia, or Mayor George Ivory in Warrenton, Georgia, or Mayor Ann Whippaloo in Gordon, Georgia, or what about the mayor in Davisboro, Georgia? It is indeed time for a change, and we got to get up and do something for ourselves, because if you don't get up and do something for yourself, I'm solely afraid it will not be done. Now get ready. It seemed as if though there was going to be some type of meeting, but now, since the people showed up, it seemed like people are getting ready to leave now. But we want to get them on camera. We're going to try to talk to them. It seemed like there's no end to the confusion that is happening in many South Georgia towns. We can see now that these are elected officials of the city of Meigs. They're not having a council meeting, but these are the elected officials. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm back in Meigs Community Center. A city council meeting was scheduled tonight, I've been told, by the mayor and local citizens here. It seems as if though there's something being played that looks like a game. There are some people showing up that I guess going to be on council meeting. But if these people going to be on city council meeting, then how could the council meeting been canceled? It seems as if though we're looking at the same things that's happening in Gordon, Georgia, Davisboro, Georgia, and other places around the state where black mayors have been elected. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, and we in turn to keep you informed because you have a right to know. I have never seen this in Georgia in my lifetime. Being a retired military veteran, I thought these days was long gone. But we're going to keep you informed as the night progresses. I understand that the mayor was arrested Saturday night, and I don't know what for, but I guess I'll find out before the night is over. This is the Ghetto Free Press.
We should ask Tommy Coleman, the attorney, to step down. We don't need him. He's a good man, but he's all of him. We need someone out of Thomas County attorneys, you know, and that's one thing. Asking for the firing of the city manager. She doesn't live here. Right. And she's you can't get anything, you know. I got a secretary that's doing several Open Records Act under Georgia that I'm going to give her, and we're going to see where she's going to go from there. But I'm not satisfied with the way it's going, and I see most of you are. No, it's not right. We're not satisfied. I mean, when the mayor is in charge, the mayor is an elected high official. Amen. Isn't that right? Yes, sir. She's a high official. And they should give her respect. She won by a fair election, and they should give her respect whether they like her or not. But they turn around and get up and walk out and leave all us in here with a lot of questions that we'd like to ask. Okay, so sorry, but I got to tell you that I think the whole instigator of the whole thing, Georgia Williams, right here. And he ended up, she's got her husband working with the city, but what she's doing is she's a conflict of interest when she is trying to protect him and make sure that if somebody don't do what he wants them to do, they get fired. That's the way it goes. It's not right. It's not right.
Or what do you think is the root of the problem? What kind of city is Meigs?
I thought it was a good city up until now. I ain't never seen nothing like this. I feel like they treat her wrong.
Why do you feel they're treating her wrong?
They don't. They want the other one was the mayor like they doing her. Let her take her turn. That's just the way I feel about it.
You seem a little upset about it too, don't you?
It's wrong.
Yeah. How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 74. This coming Friday, I'll be 75 years old.
And have you ever seen anything? I'm hearing on the street, people saying they never seen this before. To treat a mayor like this, they never seen it. So you are saying the same thing?
I'm saying the same thing. I never have seen this happen before.
So,
I don't know what's going on.
well, I think
How they doing it?
yeah.
I just don't know.
I heard there's also some confusion in the police department.
Somebody need to step up and need to put a stop to it. I ain't been up there to no meeting or nothing like that, but how can this here white lady go up there and Lula the mayor, how can she hire somebody and fire somebody? What do she know? And she never have been up there for, I don't know what going on.
But you just never seen nothing like this before.
His wrong what they doing to her. Why did they fire the chief?
Well, that's something else I heard about. Somebody said something about firing the chief, the police. He was black?
Yeah.
Well, why did they got rid of him? Anybody know why they got rid of him?
I don't know.
But that's one of the shake-ups that you all don't.
They got another black police. They done fired him. They done fired him. Well, what is they doing? They want all white already.
No, you don't mean a new. We passed that, ain't we?
We thought so.
It's wrong.
So you all voted the mayor in.
I voted. I went up there and voted her in, and God knows it need to be so she can stay in until it's real make time for voting and see who get the most votes.
Well, I heard somebody said that she can't even go to her office or something without going around another way or something. Y'all heard that? Huh?
They got her locked out.
Yeah,
Can't go in. How can you have the man locked out? She locked out. Locked out. She can't go in. How can you have that done?
Well, I don't know. I'm hoping that I'm going to interview her in a few minutes, and maybe she can tell me a little bit more. And I'll make sure that you all get a copy of this, because it's just time out for this. What we see on TV is the fact all about voodoo. They talking about voodoo and.
I don't believe in that.
Yeah, I know, but
I don't even believe she believe in nothing like that.
Well, that's what another lady said a few minutes ago.
She must be the one who's saying that what Lula doing. They must be believing in something like that. They must be doing that. They said the woman said she's scared of the black. Well, what the men scared of did? They must be scared of the white. I ain't scared. Because I know I got to leave him one day, but I get up and I speak my piece.
All right, well, we think it's okay.
I think she told me. She told me, she my first cousin. She told me that the city manager and then another girl she hired brought it to her attention that to spread the black salt and the lotion. What's her name? Renee told her to put the lotion on her to keep. Don't touch nothing if the voodoo working. She was following their lead. The whole thing. I know my cousin all her life, and I don't think she believed in no voodoo. She a Christian. She a good person. No.
So you say that particular stuff with the voodoo and the salt came about as her seeking protection from the people she worked with then?
Right.
Okay, so it ain't that she was doing nothing to nobody else.
Right.
It's that she's worried about her own concerns.
What I'm saying is, for the black salt and the lotion,
right,
they brought it to her attention.
Right.
She hired them and they brought it to her attention, and she just followed their lead.
Okay. And you say they were who now?
The city manager
and
city clerk.
the city manager and the city clerk.
Oh, they brought that to her attention.
Right.
So it ain't about her then.
Right. I have one more thing to say.
Okay.
The last mayor we had,
Yes, sir.
you had a strong mayor, weak council.
Okay.
The council member, when you go up there, like they couldn't even speak.
Oh.
Like the last mayor, like they took the tongue out of their mouth.
Oh my God.
But now we got a strong council and a weak mayor.
Okay.
For what reason, I don't know. We voted her in there. We voted her in there. So I feel like let her do her job.
Okay. When you say a weak mayor, why you say a weak mayor?
Cause the city manager handling everything.
I got you. So it seems like that she is weak, but really it's the city manager that's taking the power.
Exactly.
Other words, the old mayor had some power and some teeth.
Right.
And okay, I see. And so now this mayor here is not allowed to do her job. And yet she was voted in by the people. This is what I heard the other mother say over here. Everybody seemed to say they have not even given her a chance.
They haven't
given her a chance. Okay. Thank you, my beautiful brother. Thank you so much. Once again, what's your name?
Bruce Jenkins.
Bruce Jenkins, I want to shake your hand, my beautiful brother, for having the courage. A lot of black men won't do it, but I thank God for you, okay? Thank you very much.
So Linda, she's always been one of the citizens in this community that's always tried to do things with the kids, whether it's education, whether it's taking them to football games, basketball games, getting the young girls in cheerleading, or whatever. She's always tried to have something going for the youth here in this community. And I just think that it's a shame that when a person gets in a position and then that they have won that position rightfully, you know, and once they get into their power, that power is taken away from them by people who just feel threatened by that person. I don't think that she's a threat here. I think that she's just a person that wants to help build the community up. But she can't do it if the, well, I don't know if it's, I don't think it's the people. I think it's the council. And my thing is now, you know, I'm in Macon, Georgia, and I can look on the internet, and I'm seeing where there are people here in Meigs, you know, they want her here. People are protesting to get her where she's supposed to be, including the police chief trying to get him back in his seat. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. But I've always known Linda as a good-hearted Christian person. I don't care what faults they say that she may have had in the past. Her past is her past. Everybody deserves a chance. People don't have to stay back where they were. You know, just give a woman, you know, her chance to do what it is that she wanted to get in the mayor's seat for. She can't do it if everybody is pulling her down.
And it looks as if, though, this is the mayor's office, and they seem to be...
This is the only place they get right now.
And they are changing the lock. Go ahead, Brother Tim, would you? Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, they won't let her in the other offices. They throw her out over there.
Right.
They put her in this place, office over here, and now they're changing the locks on it, now where she can't get in there.
Wow.
Now they canceled the meeting tonight.
Yeah.
At the last minute. And
have you ever seen anything like this before, man?
I never. You know they arrested the mayor, though.
Yeah, I heard about that.
For that disorderly conduct.
Yeah. What did she do, you know?
I don't know, but you know, disorderly conduct might be...
Anything. That's right. Anything.
It's a catch-22.
Right.
You know, unless you start cussing somebody or threatening you know, violence or something, that's different. But Linda ain't done nothing. Linda did not do nothing.
Why are you rating the state officials, like the Secretary of State and the Attorney General and the governor? I mean, they got the same problems in Gordon, Georgia.
I don't know why we can't get no help. I tell you, I
never seen nothing like this before.
Mr. Willie Charles, how you doing?
Yeah, he doing his job.
Don't take it personal, bro. We you know, we
How you doing,
understand.
Mr. Willie Charles?
That's right, I'm doing my job.
We know, we got you.
I hope you find a better one because you're a better man than this. You're a good guy. And you need to do that. You need to show you're a good man. You're much better than this, Mr. Willie Charles. Much better. I know it, but he's still a better man.
And we can't, Governor Nathan Deal, Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp, Attorney General Sam Olens, I just can't understand. Nobody in the state of Georgia will come down, and what are they waiting? Are they waiting for people to get violent? It seems like that might be what they're waiting on.
I don't know what they're waiting on either.
What do you think about this? You ever seen this before? What do you think about this?
I've never seen this in my life.
But what do you think about the mayor being arrested?
I'm shocked. I'm appalled. I'm embarrassed for Meigs. I love this place. I mean, this is a good place. And the people here are good.
But had you ever seen this before?
Never.
Never?
Never. And I've lived in the city majority of my life, and I still haven't seen it.
Okay.
Still haven't seen it. I'm very embarrassed for me. I'm embarrassed at the personnel, the people, and how they're putting people in bad positions.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's not right.
Okay, would you explain to me again what you say about that sign tonight?
That's where they had the meeting for this afternoon.
It was scheduled for that. They had the agenda sign posted.
Sign posted for this afternoon.
And then this sign here,
This sign came up all of a sudden.
all of a sudden they brought this sign
And
up.
they did not notify the citizens in time.
Oh my goodness. So that's a straight violation of the law. Yeah. Thank you very much. What's your name?
Magnus Nixon.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
They all told me no, they were not going to open it because Mr. Moga told them not to open it for me. And they were going to follow
Now she going home. They over there tell her how she going home now. Is Vote constantly coming on out?
How you doing?
How you doing? Good.
I'm doing good.
Your people constantly coming
If the
on
mayor
out for
asked
this meeting.
the police to open the door, he should have opened the door.
That's right.
You asked the chief of police?
I asked the sergeant to open it.
Okay,
He said that he was told by the councilman, Mr. Moga, not to open the door for me.
And who was Miss Moga?
Mr. Moga is the city manager, the city clerk,
Okay.
City clerk.
Thank you.
basically.
Thank you.
Now, if Mr. Sadie's asking you to do something, if you be quiet, I'll do it. Otherwise,
And that woman over there to her house.
Yeah. There was. They done came over here now.
Oh, yeah.
She's right there right now.
I don't know if
The lady told her, with y'all not coming
There seem to be tensions here in
the lady,
Meigs, Georgia.
The lady told Willie Charles not to come up here and open this building. And nothing.
What did you say, my brother? What you say?
Whatever she's supposed to be, marshal, she told Willie Charles, which is the city work.
He worked for the city. Employee. Okay.
Yes, not to come and open this building for no reason, none whatsoever, for a council meeting for the mayor.
Okay. And on the sign, we see a sign here saying, council meeting scheduled for April 21st, 2014 has been canceled. We are not able to establish a quorum. Meeting is rescheduled for Monday, April the 28th at 6:30. So I guess this is filling the sunshine law as well as the open records. And they even have a listing of the agenda posted. So according to what I know about the law, there will absolutely be no council meeting tonight because it has been posted that there will not be one. So there cannot be a council meeting. It's just that simple. So I don't know what's going to happen, but there will not be a council meeting because it's already been posted. The Thomas County Sheriff was here talking to the mayor, and now it seems as if though he's going over to the city hall where people, it seems like there's a divide in the community. Some people in favor of one side or the other, but the sheriff is going over. I guess he's going to find out what's going on. I didn't know he was a sheriff. If it was, I would have asked him. But anyway, it is what it is. And he's from Thomasville, Thomas County. This is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhines. And I'm over in Meigs, Georgia. I received a call yesterday afternoon, and I came over. And what's your name?
Linda Easton Harris.
Lyndon Easton Harris?
Yes.
And we're standing before Meigs City Hall, and of course, the police of Meigs and in the county of Thomas. And we have watched television and the newspapers in South Georgia and Middle Georgia, I understand, about what's going on here. Mayor, can you tell me short form of what's going on here? I see people coming, they just standing across the street here, and we invite you all to come in and stand with your mayor. Tell us what is going on here in this city.
Well, when I was elected by the people, the council decided that I had too much power, that I was hiring and firing everybody. But what's real about it is we have 5 people to resign. And 5 days in, they made the city clerk, our city manager, divested me of my power and giving all the powers to her.
Why did that happen?
Well, they said that I was hiring and firing people without asking the council. And I asked them to explain that, and they really couldn't, the council couldn't do it.
Well, what do you think, personally, what do you think it is? Why do you think they did that?
I think it's a personal vendetta, and the fact that they just don't want to see me in power.
Well, I understand that there have been a black mayor before you, so it don't seem like it's a racial issue if you already had a black mayor.
Right. Well, they are saying that being that the previous mayors were taking advantage of their power and doing things the way they wanted to without consulting with anybody else, they were just going to take my powers away from me so that I wouldn't do the same thing.
Do the same thing as what?
As far as hiring and firing, and they said I wanted to spend all the money, which when I came in, I told them that I never wanted access to the money. I automatically made the city clerk, when I came in, I wanted somebody over the money, somebody taking the bill money, somebody writing out the checks. I just wanted to sign and make sure that it was being written for what it said it was being written for. I didn't want to have access to the money.
Why do you? Why do you think they would think that you want the money? I mean, did the other mayor take the money? Why would they even have that take that assumption?
Well, I'm not really sure. I don't want to say something that I get sued for. But it's been times when previous mayors have been accused of taking money, and it's been proven that some of the mayors have misappropriated the funds.
I got you. Okay, now the thing that gets me, and I'm gonna step back in because I want to be with you when I ask you this question.
Okay.
My beautiful sister and mayor, I know the road that we as black had to get just to get the right to vote, not to mention the fact to get elected mayor of any city.
Exactly.
We have Mr. Brown in Quitman, the third, Charles Brown in Quitman, going through some similar, but not as deep as I think it's made. But what I'm trying to make, I want to ask you now is this. We read, and all the major thing that they focusing on now, and I'm gonna step out the picture because it's not that I'm afraid to be with you, but I want to hear your response about this voodoo and witchcraft. How did I get in there?
Okay, you know, that caught me by surprise that they'd even do an email on that when the lady, one of the employees, introduced me to. I knew nothing about black magic, black salt, but she said that being that it was told to her that the other people had the stuff on me, that it would be wise for me to go and get me some oil and some salt, and that we were supposed to throw it over the place so that it'll take away the evil spirits. And I said, well, girl, you know, we do need to get something out and get this spirit out of here, but I didn't know that, you know, it was supposed to be a reversal or something. But, you know, she was more willing to do that than I was. And if that's what she wanted to do, if she felt like that was going to take the evil spirits away and we were going to be okay, and I said, hey, well, then let's do it. But I was accused of throwing it.
But now, when you said if somebody else in there was working something like that, who do you mean? Do you talk about your cousin? Who would be working something of that level? Where would that come from?
Well,
I mean, who would be doing it? I mean, you don't have to call no name, but I mean, if she said somebody, I mean.
Well, yeah, Renee Boyd Williams, the lady that I hired, she was a previous employee here who was terminated for blowing the whistle on the city. And I told her from day one, after she got terminated, I said, well, you know, I don't think that was right if you blew the whistle on the city for misappropriating funds. I think you had a, you know, outlook on the city. And I told her, I said, well, I'm going to run. I'm going to run for mayor, and if I win, I will try and get you back in there. And I did that. And I consulted this young lady, I consoled her for a year and a half. And I got her in the office. It's like that it was something working. I don't know what her agenda was, but she would call me 4 or 5 times a day before I became mayor. Then when I became the mayor, they worked with me until I got in the office. They even took me to Albany to talk to Tommy Coleman after they tried to violate the charter to remove me. I was removed. I was sworn in on January 2nd, and on agenda number 3 was to swear me in. On agenda number 4 was to remove an elected official. But whenever I was removed, the next day, I knew they had violated the charter. So the next day, I went to Tommy Coleman, who I had sought legal counsel with, and he said, no, they violated the charter. So this lady took me to Valdosta. They were made give me the key. The previous employees didn't want to do a smooth transition, so they left that day. And I knew that they would, so I had Renee Boyd Williams, who's the current assistant city clerk or data entry clerk, is really what she is. And the city clerk who they've made, the city clerk manager administrator, they took me there and brought, you know, they came in with me on that Friday, the 3rd. But by Wednesday of the next week, something happened and they just totally, from that day on, flipped the script on me.
Okay, now, have you received any professional training on being the mayor? And if you have, what did you learn from such training?
Actually, I've attended council meetings for probably 5 years now. I've always taken interest in this city. I've volunteered on many levels on large capacities. I've been the liaison for the children here on a very voluntary basis with my own funds for years and years. And I've gained that respect from the citizens. And they know that, I was, basically that I'm going to do the right thing when it comes to my people, to my citizens. I have not had any training per se. They've already told me the city don't have any money to send me to trainings. That's what the city manager, who was the city clerk at the time, she told me we don't have any money. She's convinced the council that I'm just wanting to spend the city's money. But I educated myself by learning the charter, reading the charter thoroughly. And this is why I know that in reading the charter, getting an understanding, and I know that I have to be taught some more, some of the things I don't understand. But the charter is like the governing body of the city. It's like the Bible to run the city. Like we don't want to sin against the Bible. It's like the 10 Commandments. If the Lord say thou shalt not kill, you shouldn't kill. If the charter says that the mayor is the CEO of the city and it has all the executive powers to hire and fire, then that's what they should be vested. My powers should be vested.
That's right.
Now, I have, since I've gotten involved with what I'm doing, which I call myself the Ghetto Free Press, I've learned that once you are elected, especially as mayor, that they send you to Atlanta.
Yes.
Some people go to Atlanta for training, and in this particular training, I am told that what you just said, although a lot of municipalities seem not to understand that, is that they do refer to the mayor as the CEO of the city. But yet a lot of people are saying that that CEO position is and does belong to the city manager. And it is as if though there is no need of even paying a mayor, quote unquote, because they say the city manager has all the power. So if the city manager has all the power, why do they even have a mayor in South Georgia if they don't have any power?
Exactly, and I think that's why where they're violating the Charter Act. Because I ran on false pretenses that, okay, I'm going to be the mayor and I'm going to be in control of trying to keep my city in order and, just form an order for us. Because what's happened is we're considered independent around here now because of the previous administrations wanting to do things the way they wanted to do. And I wanted to run with the notion that I'd be able to get in there and get us back on the right track where that we can be part of the county and not considered independent. And, just kind of form some policies and procedures so that we won't be making up our own rule. And so that if Thomas County Sheriff's Department has to come in to help us, okay, we're not telling them what we're going to do and we're not going to abide by your rule. And that's basically what I want to do. But as far as the Atlanta question, yes, we go every year to Atlanta. And really the reason why these young ladies came against me is I told them that we had to go on the trip, but the previous mayor had already paid for the trip, and they said that they wouldn't be able to pay for me to go. And I said, well, that don't seem right then. I said, but if we can pay y'all this nice salary, then look like we ought to be able to pay for me to go on a Mayor's Day conference to Atlanta, something that every city sends their mayor to anyway. But they had to conjure up some money, so they said, and to send me. And I said, well, if we don't have enough money to send me to something as simple as a Mayor's Day conference, then we need to revisit salaries, then we're paying y'all too much. And that's when that's when all hell broke loose, so to say. They started coming against me and just basically wanted me out of my position at that point.
Okay, Linda, let me explain to you who I am, because like I said, I got a phone call last night and I was on my way to Americus, Georgia. And since talking to you, I may have to stop in Dawson, Georgia. But the bottom line is, this is what I do. I've been doing this since '75. Okay. And I'm not going to say I'm good at it, but I do what I do. And my question now is to you is that we get ready to close this. And this is very honestly. I'm asking this from my heart because I really want your honest opinion about this. It's very important to me. Since you were elected by the majority of votes, did you not? Were you?
I was elected by majority.
And from walking the street, you got the backing of the people.
Right.
Now, have you ever been interviewed by the news media where they will actually report the fact that you have the backing of your community?
I have not been supported to this capacity yet by any media.
Well, I want you to know that This will be, I'm going to send this to all the news media so they will get this. And what I mean when I say get this is that too much news in the black community, in the poor white community, and the poor Hispanic community are not being addressed, and therefore we have to live with all this bottled up pain. And so the Ghetto Free Press, I spell it G-E-T-T-O.
Okay.
People tell me I got it misspelled. It's not misspelled, I got it the way I want it. That means we get to Meigs, and the two mean to you, then we get back to you. We don't need an H in it to do that.
Okay.
That's why I call it the Ghetto Free Press. We get it and we bring it to you.
Okay.
We get it from you and we take it back to them so they can get it.
Okay.
And so now, I'm still on point now. I got a good mind. Now my question to you is this. How do you feel as an elected official of the people? How do you feel like, as far as your city manager and your council are supporting you in terms of leading the city or town of Meigs to where it should go in the 21st century?
I'm glad you asked me that because I feel very betrayed. I feel that it didn't do me any good to put my reputation on the line. I've been ridiculed and scandalized for over a year now trying to fight this fight for the citizens. I ran in a special election in March. I lost in that one, but I said I wasn't going to lose any sleep because there was a general election in November that I was going to be prepared for, and I was going to win it, and I did. But in going through all of that, my name being on the front page, I feel that I was betrayed. I was betrayed by two women that I befriended. I thought they were Christian women who went in and totally just changed on me. And they were different people, and those are the evil spirits that I'm having to deal with. And as far as the council, I believe that a council should be educated. Whenever you take in a new office, and usually starts in January, I think they should have a retreat so that they can learn their charter, so that they know that what they're governed by, they're not violating charter with. But I feel that whenever I ask them, have you read the charter? Are you aware of the decision that you're making? Most of them tell me no, but it's whatever. They said they made the manager, they gave her my power, and that's what they're speaking with. They've given her the power, so that's what she's gonna do. I feel very betrayed. As I stated, I want to amend the new business on the agenda. I'll make a motion to amend it. So y'all don't want to amend the minutes? Oh, no, what's my motion? I want to amend the minutes, the new business, because everything wasn't added. And I want to offer Officer Rawls a chance to approach the council about his termination. And also, there were some things, I had nothing to do, being the mayor, I had nothing to do with this agenda. I have no say-so in anything. So I want to amend the agenda with the new business so that I can have my say-so to the council, because whenever I go to the office to speak with Ms. DeMoga or any of the office staff, is that I'm hostile. I can't take care of business without Ms. Williams being up there. Like today, I've just been served a trespassing warning. It says on here that I can't even go to the city hall anymore, but it has this address as well. So had they had their way, I wouldn't have been in here, I guess. But I just want to amend the minutes so that we can be heard today, because I think that we, as citizens and mayor, we need to be heard. So we have a motion. We have a second. This is the cooperation that I get on a daily basis with the council. I don't want to appear hostile, but I want the citizens to know this is how it's done every day. It's a shame that the mayor don't have no say-so in anything. Ms. Williams Everybody else can come up there to the city hall, can run around there. Dorothy can put her folder in my face today and nothing be done about it. But I'm giving trespassing warning, only because I was trying to see the bill for today. But this is the cooperation that I get. Either it's no cooperation or silence. You know, I can't operate. I was elected by the people to do a work for the city. And I can't do anything. Every time I turn around, it's Mr. Mogul in my face. At first, she was afraid of me until we made her city manager. Now she's all up in my face and walking all around me like she is not afraid of anything now. I cannot get anything done. I can't walk in the city hall without somebody saying, are you recording me? But from my understanding, the last council meeting we had, I was the one that was on the recorder, being taken for something I did at 4:30. But only thing I asked them to do today, LaVon, didn't I ask you for us to go and get some education so that we'll know how to govern by our charter? You do it the right way. I said, because we're gonna continue to look like fools. Ms. Dorothy Williams, Councilman Williams said, oh, you calling me a fool, you calling us a fool. No, I wasn't. I'm just trying to get the city back on the right track. But how can I do it if I'm not given a chance? I'm not given not a chance, a step of a chance.
Mr. Mayor, I understand that, and that's been hashed about numerous times. The council, they voted, I think it's part of the charter, we go through all that. I think it's just no good for you to try to rally the crowd here. I think you need to go along with it.
No, I'm not trying to rally the crowd. Okay. Well, okay, since this is part of the new business, this is what I'm talking about. This is an amended 2013 budget that wasn't even brought to my attention. I don't know anything about this budget. This budget that I've been given today is like totals that don't jive with the Felon Banking Company, for one. Yes, it was an amended budget on 2013, but 2013, we had gotten a lot of money. We don't have that kind of money. So we asked Mr. Moga to get a statement and get a definite total of what we got in the bank. And is that on here? But this doesn't really jive with the 2013. Okay, so whenever you
have to take money from one department and put it in another department to balance the 2013 budget.
But this budget
My
still.
street department had no money in it. It had nothing budgeted, but there was money to the street department. So we had to balance the budget for 2013 so that the auditors can come in. This is done all the time. In government, the budget fluctuates.
Right, they fluctuate, but out of 3 months, we haven't had a chance to give us a living budget, like what we're actually working on.
Y'all adopted 2012, but we had to get 2013 adjusted in order to pass the state office.
So 2013 had been balanced all out.
And the auditors, if y'all approve this budget, and we work on it.
Okay, well, I just hate that I have to bring this up in the council meeting because I don't get any cooperation. And that's my thing. I didn't know anything about the amended budget until I got my packet.
We'll have order.
Okay.
That's the right way you want to talk to me, because I told you tough so. Everybody out. Everybody go ahead. Oh, y'all might welcome, I be heard, I can be heard.
Okay, so there are some eggs over in the back.
Because we've not, y'all think we're
He told him to walk out, I walked out.
Get rid of you, your fast mind self. That's why she bringing me here. That's why she bringing me here.
He must have seen his name.
That's why she bringing me here. That's why.
He seen the last name.
It was more than him. And they can't stop nobody from laughing. You got a right to laugh. You can't sell down, right? I don't know. That's why she bringing them all in. That's why. Don't want no black folks. Them that don't want to do right, they need to get them up there. They need to get rid of every damn thing from up here. All of them. The guys are supposed to be bringing stuff. They don't want to make it. They don't want to hear the truth. They get rid of it. They need to get rid of Marshall don't need to be back in damn me. They need to get rid of that woman up there. They need to get rid of her and Renee were about to Trump in there. She sure did, looking like a bride house. The council member need to get rid of her and her. And I can buy my own. Now them council members need to get rid of that shit, man. They need to get that shit over there.
Sign petition. They don't want to leave.
Meigs ain't never been like this. So late is it? He ain't never been like that. Until we got these roads and trenches in here. I pay taxes. I ain't never been like this here. I'm telling you, ain't never been like this here. I'm born and raised here. You ain't never been able to speak up for yourself. Every time they try to damn block. They need to just get rid of them. That's what they need to do. Make me make it. All I would need to get myself on camera. You ain't nobody take the money like she did that over there in damn food. That's why she can't get a girl up in my way the money at night.
Kill, cool, you saw her kill me, but they ain't have, I ain't gonna pay my water bill, nothing like that.
Yeah, is it 4 inch or 2 inch?
No, sir. It was 6 inch.
6 inch? Okay, so he said what's happening is the pressure is measured
Okay, then, so what we need, we run 6 inch. Down the road. And they hooked it up from there. That boat be a 6 inch. Huh? See what they do. Really don't want. I think Larry ain't doing. Red name Larry, I believe. And so that one. Oh, Lord. They know what they're doing. They need to send that woman back. And they need to get rid of Renee too. Everything in there.
How they make her feel that? She made it herself. She ain't never turned in her application for a job, but she won't give it to them. Okay, and how if they get paid, they ain't turn their application in.
Let me see what Uncle Lady talking about.
Tell you what, I'll tell you what, go on. We can't go back in, y'all.
We even let it back in.
That's been so long ago. No, we're not finished.
I'm most of the minute been doing.
Well, we don't have to go. if y'all want to stay in here, because from this point on, we need to be something. Nobody said yeah. Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yes, did you second the motion? I said it here. I don't think this is right. But y'all don't have to go because this is not right. Y'all can go ahead and voice your opinion. What we got to do, or y'all as citizens, got to stick together.
I've never seen a city council meeting operate like this
I don't
before.
understand how we allow the city attorney to control our meetings. They already, see, all of this was done without my say-so. He's not even our attorney. That's not an attorney.
He sent somebody in every time. Because you went to this meeting Saturday, and this is why he sent him, because he don't want to answer your question.
And he can't be here. Get rid of him. We need to have somebody that can represent us.
That's right.
Because Mr. Coleman, Attorney Coleman, is representing a lot of cities that was mentioned in the training on the weekend. So it's like double duty. He can't be with us for being everywhere else, but the money still rolls to his firm. Right. You know, we hired him. I don't even know that man's name.
That's a shame.
I don't, y'all, but this is what's going on. This is the cooperation I get.
Mayor,
this is it.
we want to reinstate our chief. We want our chief back.
And that's why, exactly, because I was going to ask that he be reinstated, and that's why I wanted the minutes amended. They know that I was going to do that. But let me tell y'all, on this thing right here, they didn't really want me coming up in here because they got me for a criminal trespassing warning over there just because I was trying to listen to the minutes. And then Dorothy comes up in my face and put her folder up in my face really close. But nothing was done to her. But they get me for a criminal trespassing warning just because I'm trying to talk to the council members. And I can't help because Renee walks out every time I'm getting ready to say something, but you know, I can't be a mayor with this kind of cooperation. So I'm just gonna, I've just gotta do what I gotta do.
Can we get together, help raise some money, get you a private lawyer or do something?
Yeah, we need to do something.
We'll come up with some money and get you a private lawyer.
I'm going in the morning, right?
Are you on the council?
No. No,
Chief for 28 years. You're the chief.
No, he was.
28 years.
Anybody else got a question?
I just like to say that, like Quitman, I've started a watchdog community concerned citizens. What it's going to do is these councilmen that don't want to do their job,
That's it. Get rid of them.
we need to let them resign.
Right. So how do we go about that? How do we go about getting them off?
We can petition enough, we got enough things, we can petition councilmen that don't want to do their job, back up, I mean, we just had.
All four of them.
Yeah. And we can monitor the spending of the money they doing. I want to tell you what happened to me. I went into City Hall and I asked to be on the agenda. The city manager or whatever she is, she says, what do you want to talk about? I said, I want to talk about Officer Ross being fired, the chief. She says, that's personal. You can't talk about that. I said, well, are you gonna let me be on the agenda to talk? And Renee, the other clerk, says, you want me to take care of him? I'm like,
Oh my God.
I'm like, and the city manager says, you trying to start an argument? I said, no, I just want to speak at the council. My right, First Amendment. Our rights, our civil rights. They violate our civil rights when they don't let us get on the agenda, when they don't let us speak. And we all try to do it in an orderly fashion. And it's not right. Everybody, that's what we elect them for. Hey, we want to say, we want to come up and say, well, this or that ditch down there is not right, the road's not right, so-and-so's not doing his job, can y'all look into it or something like that? Well, and so my advice to you, if you voted for her, Linda, the mayor, when you go in City Hall, you better take somebody else with you, because what they tried to do was intimidate and get me in the point that they was going to call it a hostile thing again. I know what I'm talking about, because I've been in law enforcement. I've seen where it was going. I turned around and walked out. Officer Rawls, the chief there, went up there, tried to get on the agenda, flatly refused him. What did I tell you? It was full or something else?
That's what she told me when I tried to get on. I tried to get on the agenda. She told me it was full because I wanted to talk about my dismissal. She told me that I couldn't. The council wasn't going to listen to me in the first place, so she wasn't going to let me on the agenda. So I'm like, well, why won't they listen to me? She said, then she goes on to say that we're not going to hire you back anyway. You haven't been here 60 days. I said, well, that's why, Renee was terminated, and you told her that she had 5 days to appeal it with the council, and you all granted her job back. So I feel like I should be at least heard and be granted mine back as well, because I knew I haven't done anything but done my job.
We should ask Tommy Coleman, the attorney, to step down. We don't need him. He's a good man, but he's all of him. We need someone out of Thomas County attorneys, and that's one thing. But I'm asking for the firing of the city manager. She doesn't live here.
Right.
And you can't get anything, I got a secretary that's doing several Open Records Act under Georgia that I'm going to give her, and we're going to see where she's going to go from there, but I'm not satisfied with the way it's going, and I see most of you are.
No,
it's not right.
We're not satisfied. She don't give us any
I mean,
satisfaction.
when the mayor is in charge, the mayor's an elected high official.
Amen.
Isn't that right? Yes, sir. She's a high official. And they should give her respect. She won by a fair election, and they should give her respect whether they like her or not. But they turn around and get up and walk out and leave all us in here with a lot of questions that we'd like to ask.
Okay, so what's that telling us? They
don't
respect
care.
She don't care.
They don't care about me.
She don't care at all.
That's why I say,
And all the councilmen.
you need to ask for the resignation.
Well, there's a
So
lot
how
of
do we go
favoritism
about
going on too. There's a lot of favors going on along with the councils.
Just give us a letter up and let everybody sign it. I'm sorry, but I got to tell you that I think the whole instigator of the whole thing,
George Wynn,
right here.
When he ended
She's got her husband working with the city, but what she's doing is she's a conflict of interest when she is trying to protect him and make sure that if somebody don't do what he wants them to do, they get fired. That's the way it goes. It's not right. It's not right.
The city has bought rocks from scrubs and spread it in Till Kilpatrick's churchyard, and there's a washout right there by the drain that needs rocks there, but they put it in right in her churchyard, and I feel like that's favoritism. That's bribery.
And we can't. And I'll tell y'all something else. We can't afford our police units to be going to Coolidge and places like that. We don't have money. Their cars need to sit right here, and I still work part-time with Keller. I have to drive my own personal vehicle.
Okay.
They cut back everybody's up there. And a lot of this stuff going on needs to be monitored. I bet you a $100 bill that they don't even know the mileage on it. They don't even keep up with the mileage. They don't.
They do it what they do.
When we get in our units in the morning, we have to log in, mileage, dates, everything. Well, our radar and all that stuff, log books, we have to keep all that. At the end of the shift, we better have to put down our mileage because it gets checked. If we don't do it,
Okay, Chief.
we get in trouble.
Since we didn't talk about Chief Rawls, when do we get to talk about that? That was the agenda.
Yeah.
That's why they left out.
Right.
He been in here 22 years. When everybody else left, he was here.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who came and who went.
That's right.
He was here.
He lives here.
He lives
And
here.
his
And
family.
he's been fair. Now everybody on that council member know him. You know him. So why are you taking sides with somebody else when you know what he do? He's a good police officer.
And I brought that to their attention. That's what they
But
don't
it's
like.
okay.
I brought it to their attention. I said, this man was here when we had nobody. When everybody else had resigned, he was here. I said, we ought to at least give the man a fair chance to appeal to the council like we allowed Renee. They told me that on reading the letter, he was terminated for Georgia at will state. Okay, I terminated Renee Boyd on those same grounds.
Okay,
She
what
wasn't
is
even
what
here
is
but a
that?
month.
What is Georgia at will
Georgia at
state?
will, they can fire you. You don't have to have a reason to fire them.
But if you get a lawyer, they got to have a reason for it.
It makes that,
What does it mean?
I'm not gonna say, I'm not calling no name. What I
If I
think,
confess, will you hurry up and get that?
I'm asking you and the councilman, if y'all all submit to a drug test.
I ain't got no problem.
Amen. I'll go
I
first.
ain't got no problem.
I think that would be in your best interest. And I can't understand what the big deal is about the Open Records Act. Everybody I talk to says, Jimmy, says they can go in our office and ask for what they want, and we'll give them a table or room where they can sit down and look at it. So I don't, it's like you got something to hide. We just want to know what's going on.
You said you wanted a copy, Jimmy. You got to pay for it. If you want a copy, you can get all the copies you want.
Yeah, they sent it, they have not answered me, they refused to answer.
It's too
Well,
much.
I'm telling you.
Y'all giving him the floor to talk, and we are interrupting and talking while the man's talking. If anything, we need to be professional and give him his time. He's having to break his time up by answering to our questions and stuff that we have going on. But
Well, you're breaking him up now, so hush.
well, I'm trying to get order.
Okay.
I didn't mean to step on somebody's toes, but facts are
You done
facts.
stepped on him many times, so hurry up.
I'm stepping on.
Okay.
You need to take hold, to come in here and have a private meeting, and then do something and not tell the citizens, just like a few minutes ago, have an executive meeting. Leave us out there an hour, no water, no nest, no bathrooms, all
You
that.
didn't have to stay. You could have went your butt
You
home.
didn't want me to.
But we
You
got
didn't want
we
me
got
to.
be professional.
Okay.
May I say something before we sit down? If he's finished, is he finished?
I don't know. We need to let him.
Are you finished?
What?
Are you finished?
I guess I will be this time.
Okay, Chief.
I would like to be,
Can I
No,
go
let me
first?
answer
I'd like to be on the
this question
agenda
first.
for the next meeting, please.
I got this, Chief. Mr. Lake.
Well, you need to stand here and listen.
Well, you can sit down
I'm
here
not
after
required
it's
to.
done.
You can't make me. I don't want to hear none of that because I got it on the paper. Mr. Albany Herald man wrote all this. Anybody can look it up.
That's not fair.
Okay, Councilman.
Madam Mayor, what did you just say about sending this tape where?
To the Attorney General's office, Sam Owens in Atlanta, because it clearly, my rights have clearly been violated according to the Open Records Act and the Open Meetings Act and the Sunshine Law.
Okay, so let me say this before I show the next videos. I'm gonna put this together. So what you're saying is that this is a special request to Georgia Attorney General, what's his name?
Sam Owens.
Are you an elected mayor of Meigs by the voters of the people?
Yes, I am.
Did you have a majority vote?
Yes, I did.
What has happened to you since you became mayor? Was stumbling blocks or impediments put before you?
Yes, I've struggled even before I decided to run for mayor. And also, ever since I was elected, I was sworn in. They tried to remove me by the previous administration. Okay.
Okay, no. One other thing. So, what impact has it had on your family?
It has had a major impact on my family. My name has been scandalized, and I know that I'm a public official, and I know there are guidelines according to if you're a public official, there are some things that people are going to say. I have no problem with that. Where I have a problem at is when this form of government is a strong mayor, weak council form of government, and they've made a city manager divesting my powers and vesting them all in her when she's supposed to have the same qualifications as the mayor. The city manager is not a resident of the city of Meigs. She's not a registered voter in the city of Meigs. So that doesn't qualify her to take on the mayor's duties, according to our state charter.
Okay, on the other video that we recorded following the council meeting the other night, one of your brothers, I think his name Calvin, and another one I think told me his name was Edwards. Yes. And I think you received a trespass warning as well. Am I correct?
Yes.
Well, I have heard what the guy named Jimmy something or Layton. Jimmy Layton. He said that you had violated no law, and what was his position for this city of Meigs? What was his position?
He used to be our city chief, our police chief, and he also used to be the city manager. And when he was city manager, he was made move from Pelham, Georgia, because they said that you have to be, in order to be a city manager, you have to live in the city of Meigs and be a registered voter in the city of Meigs.
Okay, so to make things short for the Georgia Attorney General, what would you say is the most impediment here in Meigs, Georgia, in terms of what's standing in your way, or what person, or what group of people? Why did all this happen? Or what initiated it?
The reason this happened is they told me, the Mayor Pro Tem told me, well, my duties are going to be taken because they didn't want me to do the same thing the previous mayor did, hiring and firing and overspending money. And he, whenever they made the city clerk, the city manager, divesting all my power, then she took over all the rights. And ever since then, she's befriended the council. One of the council members' husband is a supervisor of public works, and I think it's just a personal interest there, a conflict of interest. And the council is really, and I'm not sure if they voted for me, but I don't think they did. So this is the way that they're going to attack me. But one of the council members, Teal Kilpatrick, just told me that she don't like the way it's going. And she don't feel like I was warned or I've been notified in a timely manner, and that they're doing stuff that's not legally right according to our state charter.
When you first became mayor, did you have an office?
Yes, I did.
What happened to that office?
The city clerk, after being made city manager, well, actually she was city clerk at that time, she convinced the council and the city attorney that she was afraid of me, assistant city clerk was afraid of me, and that I needed to be out of the office. And after that, my computer was taken. They threw me on the other side of the police station. My computer was taken. Then not too long after that, well, before that, the keys were taken. My keys to the city hall were taken. Then the office was taken. Then my computer was taken. I was put over on the other side. And now she decided that she wanted to take out a warrant on me. Actually, she didn't. The manager didn't do the warrant. She had the sergeant police to go down and take out a disorderly conduct warrant on me. And I asked them, on what grounds can the police take out a warrant on me for the city manager? I just don't understand that to this day. And they said that as long as he or she had witnesses, 2 or 3 witnesses, that they could do it. But the witnesses that they had on the paper were not around.
The council, as well as the citizens of Meigs. I applaud Mr. Lake for getting up there and passing out false information. In fact, what he hadn't told you is that there's a lawsuit pending against that place. And I hope he goes on record stating the things that he stated, because some of the things that he's explaining to y'all is totally false. In 2007, yes, I was involved in a high-speed chase in which 2 people died. I wasn't involved in the crash. And in fact, the whole entire thing is on video. I was 100 yards away when the accident happened. And that's the length of a football field. That's the reason why I still stand before you now. As a police chief, as a police officer, if I had done something incorrectly or falsely, Post would have taken my certification. But I'm never allowed, and I was never allowed even then. You notice when you go back, you never see me on TV defending myself. Because at that particular agency, we're told not to say anything to the press. We're told to be quiet. We're told to just let it blow over. And what the agency decides, even though there's case law supporting my action, the agencies decide that it was in the best interest that they settle out of court. So yes, they paid the family money, even though I did nothing wrong. The drug suspect, who I was chasing, was a suspect in reference to a shooting. And if one of your family members had been involved or gotten shot, you would have wanted me as a police officer to chase that guy. And that's why I was doing what I was doing. But again, that doesn't help the city of Meigs. What he just did is try to destroy this whole community. It's trying to rightly divide this community and put out false information. And that's not somebody you want to stand before you. You want somebody that's going to unify you as one unit to come with the truth and not with false information. So I advise you, as your acting police chief, please don't tap into the negative energy that's being put out about the citizens of Meigs, about the officers here. Some of the stuff that he's saying going on is just totally false, and nobody has made him stop. They gave him his 3 minutes. He exercised his right. In fact, he went over his 3 minutes. But some of the stuff that he brought up and he left. He didn't want to hear the truth, and he don't want you to know the truth.
President.
So with him saying that, that's it. Is my time up? Because I want, and one more last thing. I'm no kin to this woman. I just learned today that I'm some kin.
Can you repeat that?
I'm
Hi, cuz. I never known that.
I'm no kin to Miss.
You got it wrong. You got it wrong.
So,
I know what they talking about. You know what they talking about.
I'm a kin.
They're dead. One of the favors.
I'm not no kin. No what?
You don't have to explain.
May I ask one question?
I'm just saying.
And it might lead into another question, but who hired you?
Who hired me? Depending upon who's talking. If you talk to Marsha DeMoga, she's the one that hires and fires me.
I can tell you who hired him, Linda. Me, Dorothy, and Tia.
Okay,
Me, Dorothy, and Tia hired him.
So
did it go before? I mean, that's what I was saying in the executive session. Whenever you're making a major decision, I think 3 people don't hire somebody. You have to have 4 votes to make that legal. So that's why I say you have the committees, but council's getting the committees mixed up. You go and discuss stuff in the committee meetings. You bring it before the whole council, and you have a quorum before you make a vote on that particular
Excuse me, Madam Mayor. I don't think that was the issue that Mr. Layton was bringing up. And I think we totally getting off something different. And y'all want to discuss what council did.
That's part of your question, Mayor.
Then I recommend that y'all go in executive session and y'all make those decisions in executive session. However, as it applies to personnel, I can tell you certain things that I was told, but I don't want to get into that issue because I don't want the council to be in violation of what they're doing right now as far as discussing personnel issues and the hiring of me. I don't want to I do not want to discredit the council, but understand this, that I am a hired person, all right? I'm personnel. So the things that they're discussing now in their best interest so that no potential lawsuits can arise from what they're saying now, I suggest, again, that y'all take whatever it is they did in reference to hiring in executive session. But as so far as the lies that you were told, I can totally address that. And as you can see as citizens, you all waited because you wanted answers. But the person that presented all this information just wanted time to destroy you. And to separate you, to take away the support of the council. That's what he did. And he did it. He did a great job, but none of it is true. But he told some of it was true. He told just enough of the truth to make that whole lot look real. Thank you.
And then he practically accused I'm not offended, and I don't have to give him a drug test. It's not funny at all, because he wants us to give him a drug test. I don't owe him a drug test. I'm not on drugs, and I have nothing to hide. If I be forced to give one, or not, it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying, and I'm saying as a council member, to the council members, it's time to stop Jimmy Lake from coming and showing out. Doing those accusations that he's doing is not called for. If he get 3 minutes, he don't need to get no more. So I want this to go on the meeting for Monday. It will be stopped. He got 3 minutes and that's it. Some president to walk away and leave the ones that's with him. That's not right. He should stand here and listen to us. We listen to him, he should listen to us. That's not fair. Some president. Obama sits and listens to his people. Why he can't listen to us? He ain't no president. But that's who y'all got, whoever it is.
Well, I'm the mayor, but I'm not treated like a mayor, being that you made that comment. But anyway, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hopefully because it's in our in the parliamentary procedures at council, at meetings, whenever we go for our training. We don't know it because we've not been to a training, but it is a place, and even the county commissioners have a place in there where the public speaks. And I think with y'all being citizens of the United States of America, you should have your right to speak. You pay taxes, and there are people working here, not even a part of the city of Meigs, and they say and do whatever they want. And I think y'all as taxpayers, y'all have the right to have your say-so. And with that being said, we need to, I want to have a public hearing so that I can address the public without a problem.
Call the meeting. Call the meeting.
Look, I think I'm in control of the meeting. I preside over the meeting. I preside over the meeting, and I have to alert whoever to take that person out. Excuse me, can we get order? If everybody can. I think I'm the mayor and I preside over the meeting, and I know when somebody's out of order. I think you need to be led by, whenever they're in court, you know, they do stuff with decency and order. And in that case, everybody has to be escorted out because everybody clapped.
I'm sorry, excuse me, Madam Mayor, she was warned once before. She was the only person that clapped one time, and she clapped again.
What's her name?
And I've instructed
What's her name?
that when they do that,
Well, that was brought to me without my knowledge. So, like I said, I'm going to try, and I don't know if I even will be able to have that authority because they are going to continue to have a city manager, and I'm not going to have my power. So y'all do whatever you got to do. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Everybody in favor of closing, adjourning the meeting, let me know by the word aye. Okay, unanimously carried. Meeting adjourned.
Hey, y'all look at this.
Well, we can look at that Monday, if y'all still gonna have a meeting Monday, y'all.
This is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Rhymes out of Valdosta, but I'm in Meigs, Georgia. And what I'm trying to do is to highlight what is going on over here with the mayor, Linda, her brother. Am I correct? Correct. And what happened to you at the meeting the other night, my brother?
Well, I just asked a question, and at the time I asked a question, 5 minutes later, I laughed, and then the police come start kicking me out of the meeting.
Okay. And were you given this document, something, this is heard, but was you given a document like this?
I was given a document just like this.
Okay, and is it not labeled at the top, Meigs Police Department, and subparagraph, trespass warning?
Yes.
Okay, hold your point right there. Did you receive one of these as well?
Yes, I did.
When was yours issued?
Mine was issued about 3 o'clock that afternoon, well actually about 1 o'clock that afternoon. After I went in looking at the bills just like the other council members were doing, but I gave the council member time to look at the bills, and I was questioning the Councilman LaVon Gassett about the training that we were in, and they tried to trigger me and make me raise my voice. I guess I have to speak with a soft tone at all times, or either they'll consider it hostile.
So what did this piece of paper mean to you? What restrictions did it place on you?
They told me that I couldn't come to 2013 or 1006 East Depot Street, and that's the city hall.
So this, if it's legal, then this is the legal document that would accompany your trespass warning. Am I correct?
Yes.
If this restricted you, would not this be the document that restricted you?
Yes.
And did they let you back in the meeting, or did they tell you that you could not go back in the meeting?
They told me not to go.
Okay, that means that
if I went on city property, I'll be arrested
for violating
the trespass.
Thank you very much. Now, I am in Meigs, Georgia. I am from Valdosta, but I am in the state of Georgia, and I am in the United States of America in God's world. Now, you have just heard what they said. Did you not? Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp, Georgia Attorney General, the state of Governor Nathan Deal, Eric Holder of the Justice Department. Did you not just hear him and her? Now, if you heard them, have I not been saying to you all for over 300 days that the Lowndes County Sheriff Prine put me under a criminal trespass, yet they didn't give me this form. They didn't give me nothing look like this form. They didn't give me a damn thing. And I have said to you all over and over again that as a retired military veteran, it is disgraceful to all active duty members that wear the uniform. And if they did this to me because I recorded what I record and following the death of Kendrick Johnson at Lowndes County High School, which I'm going to continue to record, why haven't somebody said something to me about my constitutional rights being denied? Not in Russia, not in China, not in Afghanistan or Pakistan or any other third world communist nation. But let me say one other thing before I close. Now, do you all believe me? I told you that many of our boys and girls in the black community have been given these damn things. And they hadn't violated no law. And then y'all say we black folks are criminals. Poor white folks are criminals. It's not that they are criminals. It's that you have another agenda. But God, through his love and his power, just let me connect up with these two people. They're not the only ones. There are others in Valdosta that has been given a criminal trespass, but they didn't get this document. Now, Governor Nathan Deal, Eric Holden, Georgia Attorney General, may I ask you an intelligent question? May I ask you an intelligent question? How can Thomas County have this document for the people they give a trespass 1 and 2, but Lowndes County, Georgia, don't have it, or they didn't give it to me, and others they didn't give it to? So is Georgia a state of laws, or is it that they just do what they want to do based on the Dred Scott decision of 1857 that was approved by the United States Supreme Court, which said that no black man had any rights that a white man had to respect? And they returned Dred Scott. Dred Scott was not a slave, but they put that Negro right back under slave under that law. Is that what you all trying to do again? Oh, it's not going to work. Look here, we in Meigs, Georgia. The battle had just begun. I just got out of a meeting. I was called over here, and here I am. The Ghetto Free Press, I'm pressing it to the minds of the people because ignorance will destroy us, but information can save us. My beautiful brother, keep on in the fight, my beautiful brother. You said you was a man among men. You proved that last night by not getting Rudy after they had given you this, and it's recorded. The whole world is gonna see what you did to get this trespass warning. And it wasn't nothing because there was other people in the audience who made more noise than you, my brother.
Right.
And Jesus said in Galatians 6 and 7, for God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man sowed, that shall he also reap. And St. John 8:32 says, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set and make you free. Keep living truth, brother. You'll be set free. And without truth, there can be no freedom. My beautiful mayor, my beautiful black angel, God bless you. Thank you so much. And one day, the God of our salvation will make you victorious because it is written. And as it is written, so shall it be done.
Amen.
And all the church would say, amen. 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 Thank you so much. This is the Ghetto Free Press. Bye-bye, we're gone.
This council person, this is not her first time referring to as black people as niggas.
Wait. Now you're talking Miss Councilman Stone.
Councilman
So what
Stone.
do you think about your council in particular? I mean, are they operating in a harmonious relationship? What's the deal on that?
I would say during a meeting, there's not a lot of argumentation between council members.
to say as such. But I will say that I do have council members that are, how do you want to put it, planning, constructing turmoil outside of the meeting, but asking citizens to come in, get on the agenda to create turmoil or just have an outburst during the meeting. And the reason I say that is because it seems to be the same few people that are actually, I say, have relationship with the certain council members, that every meeting or every other meeting or so come on the agenda with a concern, but during that concern they get disrespectful. I mean, I had one guy tell me, Mayor, your day is coming. To me, that's a threat. I had one to tell me, you're an idiot. A couple times, real loud.
Now, this was after the meeting?
During the meeting. Stand up and walk and say, Mayor, you're an idiot.
Did you get control of the meeting, or did you have to have any type of law enforcement to assist you, or what happened with that?
At that point in time, my chief, was here at this point in time, did get up and follow the gentleman outside because he was walking out when he stated that, and took care of the situation at that point in time. The one time when I was told that your day is coming, I had a different chief on, and this chief did not do anything. I mean, there have been some crowd getting loud where most of the time I could regain control of the meeting. Not been a point where we could not regain control. But I mean, just those outbursts that are seen to be constructed by some council members with the friends or associates that they have.
I already know we have problems in other cities. Now, this is more of a reason why the governor and the Secretary of State and the Attorney General needs to be here, if not the federal government, because you're dealing with civil rights here. So what else happened other than this incident?
Well, she has made the comment, and people have heard her saying that she grew up calling black people niggas. So it's I would like to tell America to take off the blinders. I would like to tell Governor Deal and any of the people up there that we elected, they need to take the blinders off and come and see what's going on in their communities. Enough is enough, and that's it. We're not taking it anymore. I would like to tell America to take off the blinders. I would like to tell Governor Deal and any of the people up there that we elected, they need to take the blinders off and come and see what's going on in their communities. Enough is enough, and that's it. We're not taking it anymore. We're not going to take a sit down.
It's too much.
Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, and the mayor just handed me a copy of the agenda for tonight's meeting. And of course, there were no meeting. And it's obvious that under Governor Nathan Deal, Attorney General Sam Olens, Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp, we all can see that there's major problems here in the state of Georgia. I have been labeled many dirty names, but there's one thing they are not calling me. They are not calling me a liar, because I'm not doing that much talk. The video and what you have seen speaks for itself. You have seen the mayor here, Linda Harris, locked out of her own office, then banned from City Hall. You've seen Mayor Ann Whippaloo in Gordon, Georgia, treated in ways that the citizens over there tell me they have never seen a mayor in the history of that place treated in that fashion. Now, we can play the games, but I will say like the mayor, what is the public officials in the state of Georgia waiting on? I'm going to close this out. I made an concerted effort to be here at this meeting tonight, but there is no meeting. Now look, Attorney General, I got your handbook in the car that you put out. You know, the little red pamphlet. And you talk about you want open government. You talk about the Sunshine Law. You talk about the $1,000 fine if people don't answer the open records. There's a citizen just spoke a few minutes ago, so he sent those open records here to the city, and they did not respond to him. Georgia Attorney General, excuse me for being blunt, but there come a time when the American people got to stand up. If we don't stand up, then we must ask our active duty, disabled veterans, ordinary veterans, and common everyday citizens, why do we proclaim to be a community, state, nation of laws, and yet the law seems non-existent when it comes down to us? Somebody just handed me a copy of the front page of that Georgia Sunshine. I got 14 copies in my car over there. The Citizen's Guide to Open Government, Office of Governor, Attorney General, Sam Owens, Attorney General, in cooperation with the Georgia First Amendment Foundation and the Georgia Press Association, 5th edition 2014. So we are on point. It seems as if the leaders in Atlanta are not on point, and we're going to continue to question the Georgia General Assembly. Let me repeat, the Georgia General Assembly. What's going on in Georgia? Should we not tell our sons and daughters to take off the uniform and come back home and fight for their rights here at home before going to fight in foreign nations, putting their lives on the line? Now that's an intelligent question. The brother that just spoke a few minutes ago is a Vietnam veteran. So let's get serious today. I will close by saying to you, the reason I do this is because I love this republic. And I believe that in the end, truth, right, and justice will win. I'm George Boss, the Rhymes on behalf of the people and open government. I just hope and I wish that there were more people in Atlanta that was committed to those who put their lives on the line and those who have served in foreign wars to protect the rights of others, only to come home to see that our rights are vanishing in the cosmos. Bye-bye, we gone. Two sheriff deputy cars. I understand here to serve some type of papers. I'm at Mayor Whippaloo's house.
To the City Hall.
Who's the judge?
The same one that's always been, Mr. Judge Reeves. Oh, yeah.
So I need to go and get my things from there. Remove everything.
No, ma'am.
Can I go back in the City Hall?
She can go back in the City Hall as a citizen, not as a mayor.
Oh, so
you cannot. You can go to the city council meeting, but not as a mayor.
So oh, that's what I feel.
This is what this is all about.
This is the Ghetto Free Press. And we just understand that undoubtedly they saying she can not go back as mayor. It seems as if though what they've been doing in Meigs is now applicable here in Gordon. They say she can go to City Hall but not as mayor this evening. And they waited until right before the meeting tonight.
Terry Edie, Freddie Dennis, Amanda Bates, and
You call your attorney?
No, I'm going to
Call him.
right now.
Before you sign it, call your attorney.
Let me give you all this.
Oh, wait just a minute, I'll be right back. So that don't make sense.
Right before the meeting tonight. This is why I've been asking for Governor Nathan Deal to step in this. Secretary of State, Attorney General Olsen need to really step in Gordon, in Meigs, and other cities in the state of Georgia. This is just a few minutes before tonight's meeting.
I didn't know they could do that.
I have no idea, sir.
They say removed from position and can't gather the things.
Yes. No.
Hello? He has no power to do that? Right. Hold on just a second. This is my turn to tell him what to do.
I don't have anything to talk to him about. Just between me and you. They're going to have a hearing on June 24th at 9 o'clock a.m. at the Wilson County Courthouse in Irwin.
Hearing on June 24th.
I'm going to give you all this right here. What you need to do is give this to your attorney.
June 23rd, you're headed out of the country. Okay. Well, you just have to do the necessary to address it.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. He just told me to turn over my everything. I can't go back in my office to retrieve anything.
As mayor.
As mayor. The deputy sheriff, or is that what you are, Kirby?
Yes, ma'am.
Gary Kirby, he's the deputy sheriff.
Everybody going to go right in there and take everything you want to be an hearing.
Okay. He said just send him everything. He's asking me to send him everything and he'll do it. Excuse me? Okay. Will do. It said I can't go to the meeting tonight except as a citizen. I can't conduct.
It says here you are restrained from participating as a mayor of Golden.
So what now? Okay, good. No, I understand. I'm just trying to hear what you're saying and trying to hear what he's saying too. Okay.
Does it state reasons why?
I'm going to give her all this right here. This is what her, this
right,
is her.
I understand. I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding. So, is that all, you know, you want me to just sign over and give you the keys?
That's right. All I need is the keys.
The keys. The keys to City Hall?
All of it.
Okay.
Everything you have as being the mayor. If you got anything to the City Hall, the Water Department, Police Department, whatever, I need all the keys.
Okay.
Okay?
So now, hold on just a second. So now, what do? I'm going to get my stuff. Now, what we can do is, you can meet me there.
I'll go with you to let you get your stuff.
Okay.
Okay?
Do you need help?
Yeah, because all my files and everything are in there. Okay. All right.
Here you go.
Okay, I sure will. All right. Okay, bye-bye. Good deal. I'm fine, I'm it.
Okay.
So just hang.
Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press. Strange things happening in the state of Georgia. This is why I asked Governor Deal, Sam Olsen, and others to step in. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press. I just happen to be here in Gordon at this time. This is the same thing that's happening in Meigs, Georgia. We have to understand that the Meigs mayor has been arrested twice. She has received 2 criminal trespass warnings. Each one of her sons, her brothers, Edward, I think have received 2 trespass warnings. Also, Calvin has received 2. The mayor was kicked out of her office. Then they gave her another office. Then they locked the door to that office in Meigs, and she could not get in. You know, I've been saying what I've been saying for a long time. Georgia has some strange laws, and we had better get on top of this. All this is nothing more than to circumvent the voting process in the state of Georgia. Now, if you go back and Google and research the Quitman 10+2, what has happened in Meigs, Georgia, Gordon, Georgia, Davisboro, Georgia, Warrenton, Georgia, Dawson, Georgia, and others that I have been notified of, there is something seriously wrong here. And I can't understand why the Justice Department under Eric Holder, along with the Civil Rights Division, I cannot understand why they keep circumventing the voting process in the state of Georgia. I'm going to say it again. Is there anybody in Georgia or in the United States Justice Department that are really concerned about voting rights here in the United States of America? This is the Ghetto Free Press. We do what we do because I served this nation for over 21 years. And I don't think this is the America that many of our active duty, disabled veterans, retired veterans, and common American citizens are happy with. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press.
I just witnessed my mom being served by the sheriff department. And they said relinquish all keys to any sealed-in buildings, to City Hall, the Annex, Water Authority, anything. He said that she could not go to her office in her capacity as mayor. And so, well, he then further stated after being questioned, you know, what could she do to retrieve her items, he said that she can go in not as mayor, but as a regular citizen. So my thing of it is, they would serve her, what time is it?
Go ahead, just keep talking out.
They served her just moments or a couple of hours before the city council meeting.
5:34.
It's 5:34. The city council meeting tonight is at 7:30. They served her because they're about to pay the auditor for services rendered. Now, I don't know what Councilman Edie has up his sleeve, or Tawana Brown, and the rest of them, but it's coming to a head. It has already come to a head. We, as the citizens of Gordon, need to know where the funds are. For too long, this city has shown no growth, and there's potential for many jobs to come to this area. They're trying to hold back progress. Councilman Edie, City Clerk Tawana Brown, Councilman Smallwood, Councilman Densley, they're holding up progress. They keep serving her these things. Papers. They keep serving her these papers so that she can get boggled down and not be able to do her job. Now, I don't know what they have up their sleeve tonight, but I think all of you as concerned citizens, I'm not talking about that group who call themselves concerned citizens, but I'm talking about the real concerned citizens of Gordon who elected her in. You're in the majority. You need to be down there at the city council meeting tonight to hear what's going down, because it's a hot mess right now, as I said, a hot mess. NAACP, you need to be here. 100 Black Men in Macon, you need to be here. Concerned Black men of Gordon, you need to be here. Concerned Black women of Gordon, you need to be here. Ministers, elders, pastors, deacons, missionaries, evangelists, you need to be here at this city council meeting tonight to represent your city.
Concerned white right people as well.
I'm including it all.
Right, that's right, everybody.
Because I notice I'm including everybody.
That's right, everybody.
Everybody.
That means well, right, and good.
Right. We're going for right.
Amen.
We're going for mayor
This is the Ghetto Free Press. I'm George Boston Rhymes. As you can see, the news media wasn't out before, but they're definitely out tonight. And it all centered around getting her keys, turning in everything that she has for the city. And we all know that this is the same thing that has happened in Meigs, Georgia. Linda Harris, all of her information have taken. The news media is here. This is the same thing that happens in Meigs, Georgia.
Why no comment, Mayor?
Have you surrendered items yet from the city to the sheriff's office?
This is Gordon City, Gordon, Georgia. We know that this has been going on for a long time.
Just outside of the room, Accusations State Office.
This is in Gordon, Georgia. We have been saying to the governor, the state of Georgia, to take action about what is happening to the newly elected black mayors across the state. We have called on the Attorney General, Secretary of State, Eric Holder, and yet these mayors continue to cry out. We have called for the civil rights leaders and others, and yet nothing changes. Everything remains the same. And once again, this is City Hall. I was there when the sheriff deputy came to serve papers on the mayor. We knew this would happen. It's nothing new. We must understand that we had to fight just to get a drink of water from a water fountain. And so the audit was asked for, and we see that just maybe people don't want that audit to be finished. I can see that many people are asking Mr. Whipperloo to talk, but I don't blame him. He has often tried to talk, and he said that his wife, they never expressed their views, and so I guess I kind of understand him not talking today. And it's the same thing in Meigs, Georgia, and other cities in the state of Georgia. Governor Nathan Deal have been informed of this, Secretary of State, Georgia Attorney General, and so we only waited for this to happen. We knew it was coming. It's nothing new. Listen, you have never heard me say.
Well, but the mayor said that.
You have never heard me say. See, I'm gonna keep you straight.
Right.
Because that's my job.
The mayor said that, and in your interview, that was out, and you repeated back to her. So you feel like the media distorts the truth.
It's not about feeling. It's about a fact of reality. The facts of reality is, you can act like, the facts of reality is, it's not me. It's a historic, documented record of what the media does in the Nation of Islam, and I'm not even a Muslim. Elijah Muhammad taught the black community that the media is no friend of certain segments of the American people. The same thing was said in Dr. King's most famous writings. He said the same thing. He talked about when we went to marching, he said the media wasn't there. When he talked about certain things in the war in Vietnam, and how it was killing little children. That was Dr. King. So this is, see, I want you all to understand that this is nothing new for us. You see, nothing new.
Can I ask you?
Question.
Yeah, please do. Yes, sir.
Can you name an instance, a specific instance in which we distorted the truth?
Well, see, you have to ask the mayor that. But what I'm speaking of now is that you look at the newspaper.
Which newspaper are you referring to, please?
I'm talking about the Wilkinson.
Okay. Again, no, we're not part of the Wilkinson Post. And when she made that comment, it was a blanket statement about the media in town. She named all the other media. And again, we've never got the opportunity to sit down with Mayor Whippleloo and ask her questions. So do you understand where I'm coming from, where I'm frustrated as a reporter because I can't do my job to get both sides of the story when only one side is willing to talk to me? Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand that. I understand it in Brooks County as well. The news media down there are caught up with the same thing. A lot of blacks won't talk to them because they don't trust them. See, go ahead. I'm gonna see how I do you. Go ahead, talk. I'm gonna listen to you.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
So you said the NAACP was aware of that. Are they planning to put it down?
I can't speak for them, but I will tell you that when this happened, I was there at the house with the mayor, and I got on the phone and called the state president, Edward DuBose, who is the former president of the NAACP. And I don't know where they're going to take it, but the thing about it is that, as I said earlier, this is nothing new. They are aware of it. When we was Moore's Fort Bridge, I talked to Tyrone Brooks. Tyrone Brooks is very familiar with what's going on, not only here. You see, and I know you all are focused on what you focus on. But see, we looking at the big picture. It's very little need to really come down here and address this one issue when you got 12 other cities going through the same identical thing. In fact, Meigs is worse than Gordon. It's worse than Gordon.
Fortunately, it's not covered.
And I got you, but guess what? Nobody's covering it.
You'd have to talk to the media down there.
I understand that, but see, I'm still in America. And when I served this country, I didn't just serve in Meigs or Brooks County, I served for everybody. You see what I'm saying? And that's what makes the difference. See, I'm concerned with everybody. I'm not concerned with Gordon. And that's what makes it. And I'm connecting the dots. And there are people in Washington who are listening. And I believe under our form of government, sooner or later, somebody's going to listen. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. I sure do. With everything, because I love this country. I served in the Vietnam War, and I love this country. And because I love this country, it's why I do. You think my life ain't been threatened? Yes. And guess what? I enjoy it. When I call the Justice Department and they tell me what they're doing, they say, you know you're doing something. That's why I'm gonna do this until the end. I love everybody. I got professors at BSU. They are the one that support me the most, and they white. It's not about a race thing for the most part. It's about living up to the founding fathers of this great republic. I love this nation.
So you're saying it's not about race?
No, it's not about race.
So what is it about?
Look, well, if you want this, and if you can get this, the Bible says, and people don't want that, but he said we fight not against flesh and blood. All races are flesh and blood. But he talked about powers and principalities of power and spiritual weakness in high places. And I'm not a very religious person. You follow me? But my point is that there always is something deeper than what you see. I was taught in my circles to look behind the hand of the hidden man.
So what's behind?
There's always another hand.
Who's the hidden man? Who's the hidden man?
That's what we're trying to find out. And hopefully through the courts, he will be known. He will be known. Because truth will shine.
Well, I apologize if you felt like I was disrespecting you.
No, it don't bother me because I've been through all that.
Well, I've
been through all of that.
I'm just giving you an apology.
I don't need it, but I appreciate it.
But I'm just offering it out to you to let you know I apologize.
You mentioned the courts. Can you tell me why Mayor Whippleloo wasn't in court today to testify on behalf of the hearing?
On the day when she had her hearing?
Today.
She didn't have a hearing today.
Well, there was some sort of where the judge issued the order.
I think it was just an order. I don't think it was.
No, there is this order.
Oh, just an
It wasn't a hearing.
She didn't even know what it was about. I was there when she got it. She knows. I'm one insist. Ask her to call her attorney before she signed.
So, are you technically a member of the press, or are you an advocate for?
As I said earlier, I am an individual. I'm a blogger and I'm a YouTuber, and I've been doing it for a long time. When I found out that the news media, not here, in South Georgia, would not report the news, that's what started me doing this.
Okay.
And after I got started, people appreciate it.
Gotcha.
Today is April the 1st, 2014. I'm George Boston Rhymes. I just left America's Georgia, Colonial Farms, and I decided to come to Dawson, Georgia, wherein the mayor, what's his name? Right. Chris Wright. And while riding through town here, I found an individual, I think he lives next to the mayor. And will you tell me what happened on that night? Because it seemed as if though all we get down here in South Georgia is snippets and things of that nature the night when the mayor was shot. What happened?
I cannot tell you.
What's your name, first of all?
Pastor Moreland.
Pastor? Oh, you're a pastor? Okay.
Pastor.
Okay. All right, what happened as far as you know?
As far as I know. This is what I heard.
Okay.
I'm laying in the bed.
Yes, sir.
I heard shot.
Yes, sir.
Pow, pow, pow. And I heard, ow. Then I heard, pow, pow, pow. That's 6 times.
Wow.
I get up, come out of the door. And my wife come out the door. Out front of the house right there. And I walked out the front with my light shining around. Nothing. Went back in the house, got back in the bed. I was laying in the bed, then I heard somebody holler, help, help, help. The third one was low. I got up, again, I said, baby, somebody hollering for help. She said, sound like somebody hit the side. I said, no, that's somebody hollering for help. So I got my light and come back out the house. When I come out this time, I come out the front, went around the side of the house. The fence right there, I shine my light, I said, I know I heard something. Trying to get myself together. So I heard something. You have no little road. And so when I got around there, I kept shining. I saw some dog there on the ground. I had on dark clothes. And I said, hey, I said, who is that there? He said, this is me. I said, who? He said, Chris. I said, Chris? I said, what the matter? He said, Rev, I've been shot 5 times. And that's what he said.
He said that then?
He said it then. Okay. And I was on this side of the fence, so I run around to that side of the fence where he was. And I kneel over him. So when I kneel over him, I turn him up. When I turn him up, blood was gushing out of him. From here, down, running down. And he didn't want to get up. I told him, lay down, baby. That's what I told him. Then he said, Rev, he said, pray for me. I know what he said, pray for me. And God, I did what he said, pray for me. And I told him, I just lay here. Then my wife said, I guess she was dialing for the police. I don't know who called him now. Right, there was a bunch of people doing it. But other than that, for me seeing who it was, I don't know. The young man pulled up. He jumped out of the car and he run there. And he said, I said, the madam been shot. He said, where mama? See, I didn't realize what he was talking about when he said mama. So he ran in the house. Once he ran in the house, and that left me there. Then the ambulance came and they come around there and hubble over, and try to assist him and get him up. And once that was over with, we all got him up. But I helped pick him up and put him on the stretcher. And once that got stretched, they put him in. And that was it. That was it.
Well, you mentioned the mother. How was the mother?
Well, I did go in the house. And when I went in the house, I seen the mother. She had on a bra, nothing else, a bra, a pair of short pants. And she was like, been roughed up,
Roughed up?
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. It been roughed up. She, And then the police told me, well, we got to solve a case. I said, well, I'm a neighbor. I just kind of see what's going on. So I turned around and come on back out.
So it was a robbery then?
I couldn't.
You have no idea about that?
No.
No, you don't know it's a burglar? What?
No, I couldn't say about robbery. I couldn't
all
say
you witnessed what you've already said?
All I know is what I heard and that's it.
What you said. That's it. Looking back on it, what do you think, do you think that anything that you know of, and I know you got what you said, what do you think maybe could have been done differently? Nothing was. You don't see nothing?
I couldn't comment on that.
You couldn't say nothing?
No, because all I go back to
what actually happened.
What actually happened is I know of. Anything else, who was here, who come over here, I couldn't hear anything like that.
Well, one thing I would like to ask you, and then we'll be through with this, is that once did news media come over? Any news media come that night or look on anything? Or?
Some of it happened. I'm not sure who all come over that night.
What about the next day? Was you interviewed?
Well, I was interviewed, but they didn't ever show it.
Okay.
Over on Channel 10, I believe.
Okay, so you was interviewed, but it just never,
interviewed the way
and you was
in my way.
Yeah, and you was here, and you actually saw what happened. But
I heard what happened.
I mean, you heard what happened, and you did see him on the sound. You saw. And yet, but somebody chose.
I'm the one that picked him up and put him on.
Right.
The stretcher.
Right. Okay, look here. What's your name again, my beautiful pastor?
Pastor Joseph Moreland.
What church you pastor, brother?
Mount Zion Baptist Church, Brownwood, Georgia.
Thank you so much, my beautiful brother, and thank you for having the courage to stand up and say something, because as I travel South Georgia and Southeast Georgia, I find a lot of people won't talk, and I want you to know I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. Peace be unto you, brother. Likewise, peace. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, George Boston Rhines, and as you know, I have a 500,000 views, and the 500,000 views come about because of people like you and people like this, who refuse to sit back and let valuable news just go down the drain as if though a tree falls in the forest, and then they tell us the tree never fell, and our children are sitting under the tree, and we lived in the forest for so long. We know it's there, and so that's what we do. Our goal is to keep you informed. Just remember, education will save us, but ignorance will destroy us. Bye-bye, we gone. And it looks as if though this is the mayor's office, and they seem to be.
This is the only place they get right now.
And they are changing the lock. Go ahead, brother. Tim, what you? Go ahead.
Yeah, you know they won't let her in the other offices. They throw that over there.
Right.
They put her in this place office over here. Now they're changing the locks on it. Now where she can't get in there.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
What do you think about that?
I have no comments on that because for one reason, it's not finished.
What's your name?
Lula. Can you
spell it for me?
Lulajacobs.
And you are a supporter of Mayor Whipple? Fordham resident? What do you think about these people coming out here today with the concerns of the
Well, they've been doing that ever since she's been in office. They are very concerned about Mayor Whipple, but not concerned about the city of Gordon.
What do you think it is specifically about Mayor Whipple that's concerning them?
Number one, they are very disappointed, as they say, in the way that she came into office. And the city of Gordon don't want changes. They don't want any changes. They want it to remain like it was, but it ain't over, honey. Not at all.
Do you think that this is a black-white issue, or is this just a leadership change issue?
It's a black-white issue, and it's a change of leadership, and anything else you want to call it, that's what it is.
Is there anything else you want to add, Ms. Jacobs?
I'd like to say to whoever's listening, it's not over yet.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you sharing some words with me. I really do.
And let me ask you a question. Why do you carry that sign? I come to the meetings and you seem like you with it all. Why do you keep carrying that sign?
Because I am very concerned about Gordon. And together we stand, and divided we will fall. And it's just the beginning. Gordon will never be the same again.
Wow.
Never be the same again.
Wow. So you had that much confidence in the American way of government, or just you believe it's just the energy? What is it that makes you feel so confident that change is coming?
Change is coming because a lot of things that we have been through. There are so many people that have been turning out to the city council meeting that have never come. And so one thing that Mayor Whipple did, she brought the citizen of Gordon out, regardless of whether it was positive or negative. She brought them out to city council.
This is my last and most important question right here. I think everybody would want to hear this question here. Do you believe that the voters are disenfranchised when someone, such as a judge, can take down an elected official? Do you think that's appropriate under our form of government? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, will you explain to me again what you said about that sign tonight?
That's where they had the meeting for this afternoon.
You were scheduled for that afternoon. They had the agenda sign posted.
Sign posted for this afternoon.
And then this sign here.
This sign came up all of a sudden.
All of a sudden they brought this sign up.
And they did not notify the citizens in time.
Oh my goodness. So that's a straight violation of the law. Yeah. Thank you very much. What's your name?
Magnus Nixon.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
They all told me no, they were not going to open it.
Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Foster Rhines. And what's your name once again, my beautiful brother?
George, my name is Kevin Moran.
All right. And you're with the People's Agenda.
I'm with the Coalition of the People's Agenda, convened by Dr. Joyce P. Lowry.
All right. I want to ask you a few questions. Number one, I've been here. I missed Monday because I was up there with the newly elected black Mayor Ann Whipple, who's being mistreated, and I believe it all interrelated together.
Yes.
But I got here Tuesday, and I didn't see any news media here Tuesday. I didn't see any Wednesday. I didn't see any Thursday, and I didn't see any today. I didn't even see any of the news reporters. I haven't seen anything in the Valdosta Daily Times, a metropolitan city. I only saw a little snippet in the Quitman Free Press yesterday when I got that in my mailbox because I subscribed to the paper. But the question is, how do you think that the news media like CNN, MSNBC, even with Al Sharpton, can ignore or omit what is happening here in Brooks County, where we had hundreds of people to march here because this is a very, very high-profile case. Why do you think that the news media are not concerned about voting rights down here in South Georgia? Apparently because they're not here.
The mass media that you refer to is totally owned and operated by the white aristocracy in Georgia. And it is an inconvenient truth that Quitman 10 plus 12 have been salaciously charged.
10 plus 2.
10 plus 2 with charges for crimes they did not commit, and it was proven today in court.
Okay. Another thing I want to ask you is that if you had not spoken out a little bit about what happened here today, I say that this information that took place in the courtroom outside of the transcript, which will be a matter of record for all eternity, I guess, but without that, the local citizens here in Quitman and Brooks County and all around South Georgia, they wouldn't know anything about it, because when the newspapers are written, which I call the archival record, when they read that in 30, 40 years in the schools require these students to do turn papers on the events of yesterday, they won't be able to retrieve that from the newspaper because it wasn't there.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think that's why it is essential that this word get out. And I've been fortunate 4 years ago, when you mentioned hundreds of us scattered here on the steps, to be traveling with an international representative of the Mennonite Church, who I contacted last night that this trial is still going on. He has learned the truth, and he is ashamed that the United States judicial system here in Quitman, Georgia, is lynching these 10 plus 2 for acts they never committed, and by the media intentionally, I really believe it is intentionally not being here.
Yes, sir.
It is an inconvenient truth what has been done here. For 4 years, these women and one man have been subjected to daily harangues, allegations by the G.B.R, put in jail because they won an election. They won an election to office that had previously been held by white males. And for the first time, we had African Americans of impeccable character and wonderful qualifications as educators elected to the school board. They've been elected 2 times since by the same plurality. This was not a fluke. This was not a manipulated election. This, unfortunately, for some, is the South of the future. Georgia will become a majority state of colored people. Our brothers and sisters in Christ will be represented. This is a democracy in the United States. We have fought for it. We are entitled to our rights of equality under the law. We haven't seen that here, and the media doesn't want to be telling that story because governors, heads of the G.B.R, secretaries of state will be criticizing them and exerting again power upon them. We're playing with some players that have great power and great audacity to use it. We need to stand up to them. We need to tell the truth. The truth needs to be told. And George, you are telling the truth. You are the only member of the press here today. And it's a privilege to have you here and documenting the truth.
I thank you very much, and I'm not going to, because of the flavor of my nature and what I call the nature of my flavor. I am not going to allow you to stand there by yourself. I'm going to come and shake your hand, because no man in this struggle should have to stand alone. So wherever you go, I'm with you. And I'll declare before God and man that right does not have a skin color. I love you, my beautiful brother.
I love you.
And I love the flavor of your nature.
The president of SCLC, Reverend Dr. Stewart, will be here on Tuesday. I spoke with the president of the Georgia NAACP this afternoon. Francis Johnson is sending out a notification to all NAACP members to be here also.
That is powerful. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. God bless you, my dear brother. Thank you so much. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press. I'm George Foster Rhymes, and I do what I do because I served this nation for 21 years. This is my hometown. My grandmother told me the history of this place, Brooks County. And I love Brooks County. But I love justice and equality for all men, women, and their children, regardless of whether they're Germans, Russians, Jews, or Palestinians. We are all in this struggle together, trying to build a better world. And if our forebears yesterday gave their life for us to get where we are today, then some more of us may have to sacrifice and go to an invisible cross. But in the end, I will assure you that truth, right, and justice will win in the end.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Do me wrong when I'm doing you right, baby, when I'm doing you right. Yeah, I bought you a car, house, and a diamond ring, and you're acting like I haven't done a thing. I wanna know how can you do me wrong when I'm doing you right? Tell me, baby, I wanna know how. Oh, I wanna know how. Can you do me wrong? Oh, baby, when I'm doing you right. Oh, yeah, when I'm doing you right. I work the full-time job, part-time job at night. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Even work, don't know.